Hey, this is all from Evile, and you're listening to the Dan Chan Show on Hard Rock Hell Radio.
Hey, Ol, how are you, mate?
I'm not bad. How are you?
Very well, thanks for asking. How's things been up in? I believe you're in Lancashire now, you're not Yorkshire.
Yeah, I am in. I am a traitor. I'm in Lancashire. Yeah, but all good, all good. Just getting through it, through the whole pandemic we've had. Well, still having. So.
What's it like? What's it been like up there?
It's been good. It's given me time to spend more time with the family and, spend more time with music. So
yeah,
it actually helped the album quite a lot.
Yeah, I bet. And I believe you've got into Twitch, haven't you, while the lockdown thing's been going on?
Yes, yeah. Twitch is something I didn't understand.
No, I don't. I thought it was just for gamers.
It originally was, but now a lot of musicians have got onto it, and it's just a really cool place where people can hang out and chat and play some music.
Cool. And have you gained many new fans from it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, a lot of people have just discovered Evile through just browsing the music channel, so it's not been too bad.
That's cool. It's cool. Well, that's the main reason you are here is that the mighty Evile are back. You've just released a hell of an album in Hell Unleashed. It's an awesome comeback, blistering angry and right up in your grill. You must be happy with the response and how it's turned out. I mean, you're getting some great reviews and getting great reviews, right?
Yeah, I mean, the feedback's great. I knew we'd get some good feedback, but I thought it was going to be like 50-50, there was going to be the Matt camp who just didn't want a new vocalist, and then the new camp that'll be like, actually, it's pretty good. But it's been like, I'd say, 98% positive, so no complaints at all.
That's good. It's more angry than previous offerings, it feels. What was this due to a lot of pent-up frustration and feelings coming out in that whole hiatus time?
Yeah, I think it was partly that, but we also just wanted to make like the most aggressive album we'd make, because we're a thrash band, and even though we liked the previous albums, we wanted to get more back to just really good riffs, really straightforward, no nonsense, and we also wanted the music to start sounding like the name, because Evile, it's evil and vile.
Yeah.
We wanted to sound like that again. Like, obviously, we have done thrash and heavy stuff, but it didn't sound evil and vile enough.
You got to do that. So how do you feel you changed things? Or was it anything you did in the writing process? How was the writing process with this album?
The writing process was a long one, because when I rejoined in 2018, the band hadn't put any new music out, so it was time to get cracking, and we finished the structures of the songs like mid 2019, and we were waiting on Matt to do the lyrics and vocals, but he just didn't have time anymore, so it was about a year of waiting, and we knew it was coming, so he eventually left. But the writing process was good in the fact that I think that helped us, as well as the pandemic helped us, because sometimes when you release an album, you listen to it maybe 3 months later and think, I wish I'd have done that instead. In a way, we kind of pre-released it in our heads because it had been finished, and then we got the chance to listen to it again and like perfect all the little things that were bugging us. So it's pretty much 100%.
So it's perfection then.
Yeah, to us, yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's the best one we've done, and I'm literally not saying that because it's the new album.
I agree. I mean, you finished the album pre-pandemic, so this must feel quite old to you guys now, but fresh to us, obviously. Did you avoid listening back through the album, through the lockdown?
No, I'll be fully honest, because I'm a perfectionist, so every time I was in my car or just anywhere that could play music, I was listening to the tracks constantly. I must have listened to each one maybe 500 times or something.
Even after it was mastered?
Oh, you mean completed?
Yeah, like when it's complete, I mean, you just kind of like put it to bed and don't listen to it?
No, I listen to it quite a bit because, I'm a perfectionist, so I'm still listening like, did we get everything?
Yeah.
Is everything done?
I know that feeling.
But I still haven't heard anything. There's nothing that's jumped out at me yet.
That's always relief. So the couple of tracks that stand, I mean, what's with the track The Thing 1982? I remember that film and crapping it when I watched it. I was very young, that whole film poster and everything. Why that particular name and that film?
Well, Evile have always enjoyed doing film songs. We've done like Jaws, Rambo, and all them. Yeah. And we haven't done it in a while, and because it now fell down to me to do the lyrics and vocals, I think I was stuck on one song, like, what the hell should I do it about? And we'd just been talking about The Thing, and it's my favourite film of all time.
Oh, really?
Number one out above all of the films.
Yeah.
And I just thought, why have I not done a song about The Thing in however long we've been going? So I thought it's about time to do that.
What film's left you most disturbed and sticks with you to the day? A disturbing film. You like The Thing, yeah, but what about something disturbing?
Eraserhead by David Lynch.
Yeah.
I saw that at an impressionable age.
Yeah, that's it. Same with The Thing for me.
Right. Yeah, so you get it. But Eraserhead was kind of like, one, I didn't understand what was going on, but two, it disturbed me what was going on. And no one knows what it's about to this day.
No,
so.
Typical Lynch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lost Highway. I've got to ask the question of how you got comedian Brian Posehn involved on the track Gore as well. What a great lineup that is.
Yeah, well, we actually worked with him before, but not a lot of people know that. In 2010, someone sent me a picture of him wearing an Evile shirt on the Sarah Silverman show in America. And I was just,
you're joking?
Like, wait, what's going on?
What?
And so we got talking, and I asked if he wanted to be on the album, but he's a busy guy, so he said I could do some backing vocals. So he actually did the backing vocals on Cult in 2011.
Right.
And this album, we just asked him again. He said, "Do you want to shout a few words for us?" So he sent us a recording of him shouting "Gore" like 20 times, and that was it. Really, it wasn't supposed to be like a headline or a news thing, but obviously a record label is doing its job in saying featuring Brian Posehn, and now. Yeah. Everyone's like, where is he? I can't hear him. He's not in the video.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, you touched on it recently, just now you touched on it. I mean, so it's been 8 years since your last record. There's been band members come and go, and there must have been a threat that Evile may have not continued. You yourself left and came back, as I believe you kind of turned it around and got it back on its feet. Is that right?
Well, from my perspective, yeah, because there was nothing happening with Evile. There was still a band, but they were just doing a few gigs here and there. I think the guy who replaced me, Piers, he stopped coming to rehearsal, and I think it's probably because there was, no new music in 5 years. Yeah. So when I rejoined, it was like, well, we have to remedy that immediately because that's not good. No, so I just worked my ass off for 2 years.
They were waiting for you to come back.
Yeah, maybe.
Was it weird not being in the band? I mean, I was speaking to Michael Gilbert from Flotsam and Jetsam. I asked him whether he was keeping his eye on the band when he was out, and he said it was like someone hooking up with his ex-girlfriend.
Fully honest, I didn't keep an eye on the band, but when I left, I was pretty much done with music.
Right.
And I only did that solo album because Earache asked, like, would you be up for doing one?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, as long as I don't have to tour. And they said, yeah, sure. So I did that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't really keep up on it until I started talking to Matt about the band. So because we were still friends, and we still are now. But he was just telling me about how Piers has stopped showing up, and it wasn't like getting back with an ex. It was just like just riding a bike. It felt like I'd never left actually, because that first rehearsal was just like, oh yeah, I remember this.
Back
That's
into
fine.
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was the process of having Earache behind you, then all of a sudden getting to bed with Napalm? How did that deal come about?
Well, we were talking to quite a few labels when Matt was still in the band, and everything was going really well. And then, well, label-wise, it was going well. And Matt left the band, and all of the labels instantly lost interest.
Oh, really?
The only one that didn't was Napalm, and they said, "Look, we really like the material. We think you've got a good album. Let's still go with it." So, I've got a lot of respect for them taking that chance, because no one else would.
Yeah.
And
good
I hope the other labels are regretting it now.
I hope so. Now, this interests me because you mentioned in a recent interview that bands need to be more honest about their full-time work. I mean, I remember when I was playing, it was a real stigma to be talking about the real world. You're quite pragmatic about the prospects of the band, keeping it real and respecting the position you guys are in. Do you think there's a common misconception that if you're in a signed band that you're okay off and automatically successful?
Yeah, I do. I don't think it's a widely thought thing, but I do think people think as soon as you're signed, you've got no worries. But I'm a firm believer in honesty, and being in a band, especially a metal band these days, is really tough because everyone streams the music, no one buys it. Well, some people buy it.
Yeah,
and I think I commented. I can't remember where I commented on it, but people who put on their Facebook saying, singer at so-and-so band, but nothing else. It's like, don't be ashamed of the fact that you have a full-time job. You know, let people know that it is your hobby because of how the music industry is. You know, let people know the situation.
Tough.
Don't pretend you're some rock star in Hollywood in a mansion.
I was going to just picturing Motley Crue in the back of that limo in a jacuzzi. You know, that's how people think.
Well, we do have a limo with a jacuzzi.
Of course you do, on the driveway somewhere. Now, you've done some pretty cool things while you've been in the band. You've played with some cool shows, supported Megadeth et al. You've done some cool festivals, worked with huge producers. You even stepped in to help Destruction once. What's the most proudest moment you've had?
There's too many to think of, but...
What one moment made you think, oh my God, that's it? I feel like if my career was to end now, that is it.
Well, the Megadeth tour, because... I remember we played Brixton Academy in London, and, you know, massive stage, massive venue. There were lots of people there to say that we were opening the doors, you know. And I just remember just feeling like, wow, this is amazing. And mainly looking over at Mike, our bassist, because he saw Pantera there with Dimebag, and he was stood at the same side that he saw Dimebag stand there.
Yeah.
So he was just like, you know, a schoolgirl just grinning from ear to ear, and just that was great to see. That memory stuck in my head, so that's one of them. Definitely, just stood on stage supporting Megadeth.
Great venue as well.
Yeah.
Talking of Mike, the band has experienced tragedy with the death of bassist Mike Alexander, which was while you were on tour in Sweden in 2009. How was that whole situation to compute and deal with, especially when you were on the road together?
It was difficult, to be honest. I don't think any of us have 100% come to terms with it, because it's just it's a bizarre situation to be in, because when you're in a band with someone for that long, you're kind of married to them, in a way, because you spend all your time around them, you travel with them, you're in each other's pockets all the time, and we you know, he was our first bassist. He was the guy who rang up the guitar ad and joined the band. Yeah. And it was supposed to be us for forever, and because it was so sudden and unexpected, we just didn't know what to do, and we had to drive all the way back from Sweden back home.
God.
And it's still to this day it's bizarre, very, very sad.
Absolutely tragic. Now, going back in time, how did a young Ol get into metal, bumbling around Yorkshire's finest record establishments?
I got into metal through my brother. When I was younger, I wasn't, you know, an expert on any kind of music. I just listened to whatever was on the radio or what my dad listened to. So we had like Queen and Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple kind of stuff in the house. But I didn't really pay much attention to it. It wasn't until I was older and I heard Matt listening to Metallica and just thinking, what the hell is that music? You know, at first I thought it sounds crap. It's just like the guitars are really loud and the drums are loud. His voice sounds like he's got nails in his throat. And I thought, no, this isn't music. I don't like this. And then just the more I heard it, the more I just started hearing things that interested me in my ears. I heard like, what was that? And I just started listening to it when like Matt was out, and I'd pick up his guitar and start playing it. And so Matt got me into metal, really.
You never looked back since?
Oh, I
have. Now, as a metal fan, name me a couple of memorable shows that you've attended over the years as a fan.
Yeah, the first time I saw Metallica, because I wanted to hold off seeing them at festivals, because I don't like outdoor festival sounds.
Yeah,
the sound, it just goes all over the place. So I waited until they played indoors.
Black Album,
and that was how old was I then? I was 6 on the Black Album.
Oh, really? All right, okay, a bit older than you.
So yeah, it was the Death Magnetic tour in O2 Arena in London. Yeah. That was really special. But also the last Slayer one a couple of years ago in Manchester, just seeing the Slayer's final show and Tom saying bye to everyone at the end, it was just, you know, it's epic. Crazy. It was so good.
Crazy. I think that's one band that will do exactly that and not come back. Well, they won't do a Kiss on us.
I have it on good authority that they're done. They're not doing it again.
That's good. Well, even though I'd love to see them again, you know what I mean? It's like, so what newer bands are you currently into? Anything new that's taking your fancy?
To be honest, I haven't got a lot of time to listen to new stuff. Only time I can listen to music is driving to work, and a lot of the time I just want to listen to, you know, the stuff I like.
Yeah.
I do like Shrapnel. other than that, it's just been like Havoc, Warbringer, and I haven't really had... Oh, Lich King. I don't know how to say it. Lich King or Lich King. Very good.
So what's your current touring plans? Anything in the pipeline?
I have no idea.
Really?
No, we've got some plans, but it's just... We've got some gigs booked this year. We've got some Metal to the Masses through Bloodstock. We've got Bloodstock itself.
Yeah.
And then a few here and there, but we're just crossing our fingers that they happen, because you never know. We've got a UK tour booked early next year, and then I'm working on it now to get us further afield again and just try and get back out there.
So with bands going the extra mile with coffees, alcoholic beverages, beard oils, hot sauces, have you ever considered releasing an Evile Bitter Tea Yorkshire Relish?
Might do some Evile pencils or something. No, honestly, we've never thought of it. We considered doing like a beer or something, but you know, we're a small band. We can't do anything like that. Maybe if we get a bit more successful, someone will consider doing something like that. It would be cool to do like a whiskey or a beer or something.
That'd definitely be cool. Finally, tell me a funny story from your time with Evile, a funny road story or studio story or...
There's so many. Ben almost broke Gary Holt's legs by accident.
Right, go on, you've got to explain that one.
It's quite a simple story, but we were somewhere in the world on the tour bus sharing with Exodus, and we were all so hungry that we told the driver to stop at this closest place. Ben and Gary were the hungriest, so they jumped out of the bus before it even stopped, running towards the service stop, and I could tell something bad was going to happen because you're running towards a stationary object, but Ben got in there first, swung the door open on Gary, smacked it into both of his legs.
Christ.
And just seeing our drummer essentially attack Gary Holt was quite horrific, but he survived.
Oh, thanks so much for joining me on the show. I really appreciate it. Good luck with the album. Let's hope for many tours, etc. to follow.
Excellent. Thank you very much for having me.